Let's take a step back from our fragrance snobbery and remember the one reason why we got into this whole fragrance game. Compliments. We all remember that sexy feeling of going into the department store, picking up that fragrance after sampling it, getting ready for the night, spraying it on and smelling like $1 million. You made sure that every hair was in place when you combed it, your fit was pressed and looking like $1 million. Nobody could tell you nothing. So let's bring it back to the origin. And you started building that collection of must-have compliment beasts in your lineup. So let's roll my music so I can put you on to 10 must-have designer compliment getting magnets. And let's bring it back to a time where you used the pen to get them numbers. Blessing morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. Bringing it back to the essence, the origin, the OGs of the fragrance space, the designer beasts. Some of these joints are legendary in the lineup. Legendary! And there's no way that any of these fragrances that I'm gonna mention shouldn't be on there. Now, this isn't going to be a full review type situation because I'm not a reviewer. I'm just a dude who puts you on the plug. Not like the butt plug. Never mind. The first must-have legendary fragrance in the space must be 𝗙𝐿𝐿𝐿 the One, Eau de Parfum. 𝗙𝐿𝐿𝐿 the One was kind of the one that started it all when it came to that warm, spicy, sexy vibe. When the original one came onto the scene, nobody could touch it. Everybody was bagging it up, and there wasn't a friend's house that you wouldn't go to that you wouldn't see the one on the countertop. But when the EDP came out, game over. This is the Street Fighter Hadouken in the fragrance space. An OG that still lives up to the hype till this day. You ain't knocking this joint off the shelf at all. Nobody's putting baby in a corner. So when we talk about legendary compliment getting fragrances that still hold weight in 2023/24, the One EDP's gotta be there. Next one. This one has grown to be a guaranteed compliment getter in my collection. Newer acquisition, and I'm glad I got it, because Tom Ford's Noir Extreme is a problem. We're talking about a warm, sexy amber fragrance with vanilla energy. A beautiful Middle Eastern confectionery spice blend in the designer space that's attainable in all major department stores, including online gray market dealers. So if I'm gonna recommend no-brainer designer compliment getting fragrances, Tom Ford Noir Extreme has to be on that list. Next one. Gin and tonic is the name of the game, and this one, forget about all this refinement and sophistication. No, we're talking about compliments and sexy factor. Gucci Guilty Pour Homme Parfum has to be in that lineup. This has to be in the conversation. Beautiful mass appealing DNA, bright clean citrus, a sexy soapy lavender, a positively piercing patchouli, and a melt in your mouth musk. Where I'm from, we call this joint Abahabanti, aka the panty dropper. Must have, compliment grabbing, available everywhere. Yeah, next one. How much do I really need to say about Dior Sauvage Elixir? You've watched 500 videos. Chances are you have this on your shelf. Why? Because it hits. What more is there to say? Guaranteed sex magnet, performs outstanding, mass appeal as shit, a certified bona fide hit when it comes to the fragrance space. When this came out, it was instant 5 stars. Everybody absolutely loved it. It still holds weight. It's not dying out anytime soon. Fragrances are still trying to replicate its original DNA because it works. Sometimes we gotta unprogram our brains to reduce that complication factor and get back to simplest forms. This is fragrance for dummies, fam. And any dummy would know that this joint get some wet. Next one. Some of y'all got jobs, like a 9 to 5, a little cubicle action with maybe a nice window to a brick wall. You have a boss you absolutely hate. You never punch in on time, but they can't fire you because you're union. So you pull off a little Profundo Lights. Some would go with the Profumo DNA, and that's a perfect option as well, but not for me. I would personally choose the Profundo Lights option. For me, it's a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more sparkly, a little bit more fresh, and adds a little bit more of that sexy factor to that office, that corporate environment. Not a fragrance that I wear a whole lot. Why? Because this is my corporate fit, and this is my office. Bitch. So I don't need to punch in, punch out, or impress anybody else but somebody with a nice pair of double D's. Is that aggressive? Or is that why we're here? Compliments, sexy, classy, gentlemanly. Everything I'm not, in a bottle. Next one. Oh, so tú quieres algo un poquito picante, a little spice in your life with a little spice bomb? Infrared. That red grenade of pepper. Sometimes when I smell this fragrance, it's like going through my grandmother's old spice cabinet and just going, all right, peppers, yes, pimento, yes, saffron, yes, paprika, yes. Ah, cinnamon, and grandpa's cigarette. A little tobacco. That's what you're getting with this fragrance. A classical DNA that's a non-stop hitter, that has wild sex appeal, good for the club, good for the party, good for the after hours, good for the bar and lounge, good for the office, and good to break the headboard. Do we need anything else? Next one. Sometimes we need to throw on that biker leather jacket and drink some whiskey with a little 𝐙𝐿 that flippy top, that classical OG masculine scent profile that got love for a good amount of time and now people have slowly forgotten it even exists. But why would you though? Guaranteed banger, ultra sexy, you're still smelling completely different than anybody else. There's going to be more possibilities of somebody wearing that 𝗙𝐿𝐒 𝗙𝐿𝐒 than they will that 𝐙𝐿𝐒. So do you want to get compliments and be ordinary, or do you want to be exclusive and extraordinary? Next one. Now this fragrance is 100% going to catch a ton of people off guard, as some of these may be a predictable option because they just work. But Givenchy Gentleman Society is not one that anyone would expect. Vetiver and Palo Santo. Beautiful, sexy, mysterious, wildly alluring, and very engaging. It makes you an interesting conversational piece. You would be what the people are looking at when they walk into the moment and are just like, what do we make of this artistic masterpiece of fuckery? That is him. That's the type of scent profile that this gets. Very different, a little bit spiritual in some points, but has a gorgeous woody cleanliness that makes it wildly interesting. If you want compliments, this will absolutely get you compliments, and not only compliments because it smells good, compliments because you're unique and not basic like everybody else in the space. Next one. I would say this fragrance has that hybrid quality of maybe a little bit of a 𝐶H mixed with a little Dior Sauvage, and that's La Notte by Roberto Cavalli. Elegance, classy, sexual deviant like the Shamar Moore in 1998. Dude with the straight six-pack, full-blown pecs. These are nice C-cups. Definitely not pecs. Traps for days, he can't even look left or right. Just the ideal buff dude. That's what you get when you spray this fragrance. You spray and you went into the time machines, like Steve Urkel turning into Stefan Urkel.
What about Urkel?
You transform into a monster of bussy.
Huh?
That's booty dick. Never mind. Roberto Cavalli La Notte, an amazing lineup with all these Cavalli fragrances, but this one in particular is a compliment animal. Try it and tell me I'm wrong. And finally, what I like to call the Lord of the Rings, Dior Homme Parfum. Fragrance Buy has been having this joint lately. The only spot that you can possibly get this joint online, unless you have a hookup overseas. They got these joints at the airport in London for like 60, 80 bucks. You gotta connect overseas, you can get it in that $100 space, but unfortunately in the US, you're gonna have to pay a bit of a premium. For me, I don't like paying retail, but if I can't get it retail, it's really gotta be worth it, and this one is absolutely worth it. Swaggy, boozy, sexy, powdery, and if you're not used to powdery lipstick type essence fragrances like the other Dior Hommes, the original, the intense, whatever, then it might not be for you, but you truly haven't given this an honest wear and been around a situation where you let people actually sniff you in. Spray it 2 more times and then shut the fuck up, because it's probably your voice that's bothering everybody. Trust me, I've heard it all my life. So if I'm telling you that this is a hitter of compliments that you absolutely need in your repertoire, listen. These are 10 designer compliment getting beasts. Guaranteed all your money back from somebody, not me, but these are must-haves in the collection. It has all the vibes and energies that we were looking for as soon as we started our fragrance journey. Sexy, simple, compliment getting with the wow factor. You're welcome. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all snitches next time. You know what is biggest in the game. Smooches.